What's going on, people? JayoBrown, as usual. Um, Making this live stream that I normally would never do on my own. I usually have the lads with me, but I personally want to make this video just to talk about the crisis of Liverpool at the minute and how awful we have been this season, and how everything is going to be fixed and what's to happen and what not to happen going forward. Like, I wasn't there for the live stream for the Manchester derby last night, due to family reasons. But I was still watching the Liverpool game and I was watching the Manchester game. But Liverpool, I was just so just dejected, tired, just everything that I just felt from watching the game yesterday. It was just watching. It's like watching an episode of a sitcom or a TV show. It's just the same old, same old. And I'm just sort of getting fed up with it as a Liverpool fan. Like, for the first time on social media, I hid on social media. I actually didn't post anything because there's just a lot of things on my mind that I want people to know about, but I know a lot of people are going to disagree. And listen, football's all about opinions, but what I'm going to basically talk about now is, like, I'm going to probably divide a lot of people. Now, people might think that I'm, Klopp out and stuff like that. I'm not Klopp out. Don't get me wrong. He's, in my lifetime, the greatest ever manager that I've ever seen. He's brought so much joy as a fan base. But at the minute, it's like the team's gone. It's like the mentality's gone, and I just want to get into it. Like, that game against Fulham, like as other games have been, there's just no it's like no energy in the team anymore. It's like the mentality is just gone. Like, it's like the mentality monsters is now called mentality midgets from Jamie Carragher, because that's what we are at the moment. We're midgets. We're just crap. There's literally no ideas. Like, I get where Klopp was coming with the formation, and he was changing seven players and bringing in the likes of Nico Williams and Reese, and he's bringing in Naby into the team, Shaqiri, and like, it was good to see these lads play, but we were crying out for months on end for Fabinho to go back into midfield, and I felt like that was the perfect opportunity for him to go back into midfield. And it's just like Klopp's decision making the last few weeks have been really, really annoying me. And a lot of fans have called that out about the team lineups, the substitutions he made against Chelsea. Why did he take off Salah? We needed a goal. He's the only one out of the team that can get you a goal. But even at that, you can't even, like, we can't score. Like, we can't score against Fulham at Anfield. Like, that's how bad it's getting. And that's why I didn't like Ryan or stuff like that, because there's just a lot about the team that I just sort of like, I just don't want some of these players at Liverpool anymore, and that's being a straight. Now, when I say that, I'm not saying about Mo Salah, like sell him or sell, Mane. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm probably, as a typical Liverpool fan, I'm going out and saying let's sell Firmino. But I've got every reason why I'm saying this. Is because Firmino's not Firmino anymore. Firmino's not, I think 17, 18 Firmino, where he would, track back, he would set plays, he would get things going. And I feel like that Firmino now is just sort of like not caring, giving the ball away all the time. And he's just sort of like, he's trying to put on a pretty face, but it's like, it's all well and good smiling, but it's all about putting the shift in and stuff like that. And people can go, well, he has 7 goals, but that's still less from what he had last season. Like, he didn't even score in the Champions League, I don't think. So he's only got 7 goals in the Premier League. That is still poor from a player that plays in a forward position. And it's fact, we look for goals when it comes to winning games, and we can't get that at the moment. And he's reliable as well. Same with goals with Mane. Mane's been very poor this season. I don't know what's going on with him. And you can even see as well that, like, he's very good at running at defenders, but he's always very good at the shimmies and trying to, like, fill the defender. But that's gone now. It's like he's trying to look for a pass then, and it's like, that's not Mane. Like, Mane would be somebody to take players on and have, like, brilliant skill and dummy defenders. Like, that's Mane. Mane, that is just gone now for Mane, and I don't know what's wrong with him. Salah, look, like, listen, Salah's hot and cold sometimes, and he is still a top scorer. So, it's just we don't know with Salah. this, rumors going around saying that he's going to potentially leave, if we don't get Champions League. And do you know what? I'll be heartbroken if he does. But it's all about going out and getting that replacement. And if we don't have Champions League next season, are we going to get a replacement? Klopp said before the Fulham game that if anybody wants to leave because they don't have Champions League football, then I don't want them at the football club. Now, a lot of people are going to be saying, well, that's a good statement. Klopp's putting in the stamp in the team and going, hey, listen, if we're going to lose the trust on you if you want to leave. But then again, you need to look at modern footballers nowadays, and they can be going, well, hang on a minute. If this team that I was at, in Champions League regularly, winning trophies and stuff like that, is not in Europe anymore, like, what's that going to mean for me, in my future? A lot of people actually don't think about a player's perspective. You need to look at Luis Suarez, for example. Luis Suarez left Liverpool because he felt like Barcelona would have been better for his career. And don't get me wrong, it was. He went on to be one of the leading goal scorers in the club's history. He went on to win multiple trophies. But that's what these probably players are going to be looking at now with the likes of Salah and the Manes. And, Firmino's. Now, don't get me wrong, I would like a replacement for Firmino. But I'd hate to see a Mane or a Salah, go, because I feel like those players can get better. I just don't feel like Firmino's getting better. I just think, like what Gary Neville said on one of the Monday Night Footballs, that front three is overstayed its welcome, and someone has to leave. It's fact. Another thing as well I wanted to talk about is the midfield and how that's not gelling. And basically, because we haven't got a Henderson there who's been getting injured, Fabinho's been playing at centre back, so we haven't really got that rock in midfield. People talk about our defence and all being rotated, but our midfield gets rotated a lot as well. Like we've seen there, Naby Keita came on for his first game, and God knows how long. Milner had a game; he was god awful. Like, don't get me wrong, I love Milner; he's done absolutely brilliant for Liverpool. But come on, we're trusting on a 35-year-old Milner to do something for the club. We've got players there in Oxlade-Chamberlain, Naby Keita, Thiago. We've got, like, don't get me wrong, Curtis Jones actually being our best midfielder this season because he stepped up his game for his age, and he's going to be getting a lot more game time. But when you look at the likes of these, Naby Keita, we paid 50 million for, he's got muscles made of chocolate. Legit, the chap can't go a month injury free. Like, he always gets injured. If it's training, if it's a match. Same goes with Oxlade-Chamberlain. Oxlade-Chamberlain was what, 6 weeks out when he was in pre-season. He's supposed to be 6 weeks out, but then it goes to about 4 months. So, there's another player that's injury prone. Thiago, this is his fourth season, so we can excuse it. We really, really can. Like, he could get better if he gets, like, a midfield that's a gel. But one of the things as well that Jamie Carragher pointed out is that we don't have that creative midfielder. Now, we honestly thought, like, Thiago was that midfielder. We really, really did. But it's just, he holds plays, and he's not like a gegenpressing player as what Klopp would want them to be. He's a sort of, hold the play down, calm it down, like Barcelona, tiki-taka. He suits Barcelona's style of play, but he doesn't suit Klopp's style of play. And do you know what? There was a lot of people saying about him, like, he doesn't suit our style, but we didn't think about that. We just thought, oh, well, he was in the European Cup, winning team. He was the man of the match, in the Champions League final. He'd be brilliant. He'll set in no problem. But no goals, no assists. And he holds the play down. So he hasn't really impressed. But don't get me wrong, I still love him, and I will still give him a chance. But then we're going to go into the defence. And, a lot of people are making an excuse for why we're being so poor is that we haven't got a Virgil van Dijk, which you have to, like, wake up and realise that defenders don't score your goals. Forwards do. And that's what I'm crying out for months on end. We're looking for a goal scorer. We need a Haaland. We need an Mbappe. We need somebody who can, turn the game around. At the moment, who's going to be turning the game around? Probably Curtis Jones. But, like, that's so much pressure on a young lad for him to go out and, score, let's say, I think our first open play goal since, I think, Salah against West Ham. Because if you need to think about it, Firmino's goal against Sheffield United was deflected. Salah scored a penalty against City. So, other than those 3 goals I mentioned, the other goal that we scored was against West Ham, and that was in January. That was 2 months ago. It's no excuse. You have to stop the excuse, Liverpool fans. I'm going to say, if there's Liverpool fans out there, Don't make the excuse of we haven't got a Van Dijk and stuff like that because we haven't got a system. Doesn't matter. There's times when in 2013-14 we had Skirtle and Agar on the defense, or Skirtle and fucking Mamadou Sakho, and we conceded about 4 goals in the game. Then we can score 6 or 7 because we had an attack that can do that in Suarez and Sturridge, and even Sterling. I'm going to give him a mention. You know, we can outscore teams. We've got players to do that, but those players are not delivering. So don't get me wrong. I am not here to criticise the defence. Yeah, we concede goals, but we're not conceding loads. So don't get me wrong. I'm actually sort of proud of the Daniel Phillips, who's been absolutely brilliant since he's been coming in and recruiting the defence, and he's a tall lad as well. So fair play. Kabak as well, 20 years of age, coming into a massive pressure to get Liverpool back running, and he's performed not like massively where he's made a difference, but he has done a shift. There's still a bit iffy, with Reece Williams, but it's like he's a young lad. We can just leave him be and just he can find his form. And then it's just the same with Fabinho now. Fabinho's been brilliant. Trent is on and off. Same with Robertson, he's on and off. He can have some good games and bad games this season. And then I just think Nico Williams was thrown in the deep end, yesterday. And, a lot of people are saying about Nico Williams. But as well, he's still a young kid. I just think, in my opinion, the only thing he needs to learn is the man mark. I think that's his biggest problem, is the man mark, because he's so drifted, near the centre-backs that the left winger from the other team is so open sometimes that they could make a deadly attack and it could end up going anywhere. A perfect example was Aubameyang's goal in the Community Shield. He left a player like that so open, and Aubameyang scored it, and it was 1-0 to Arsenal. So that's something that he'll have to work on. And then look, Alisson, God rest his soul, with his dad dying and stuff like that. And look, listen, the goalkeeper situation is not bad, but yeah, but they're just the things I just wanted to talk about, just the positions in the team and where I think I just have a problem with, and it's mostly the midfield and the forwards, in my opinion. I just think they're just really, really lackluster. I was going to get into the comments. Thanks everyone who's actually watched this, because I really wanted to get it on my chest, because I'm not a fan who's negative, and I'm like, listen, to be fair, I do say the F word a lot all the time, but I just want my team to be back to where they were, to, consistently winning. That's the only thing I want Liverpool to do, is to go in and consistently winning games. But we're not doing that at the moment. Every game now I'm going to, I feel like we're going to lose. It's like years ago, mid-table team, we're going to lose again. And then, oh yeah, look, watch, Man United's come to town, we'll beat them. That's what it feels like at the moment. And I'm glad, I can't believe I'm actually saying this, but I'm glad we're playing in Hungary even on Wednesday, because I reckon if we play at Anfield, Leipzig will fucking beat us because we can't win at Anfield. So I'm glad we're playing away. And yeah, it's literally, I'm telling you now, we need more than God if we want to win the Champions League, because that's our only hope of getting Champions League next season. It really, really is. I swear down now, yeah, and I'm actually being there straight. If Liverpool win the Champions League, from me saying this now, I'll actually get a tattoo of the Champions League trophy on my arm, and you heard it here first. That's how much I don't think we're going to win it. I just think that there is just other better teams, and we're just having a god-awful season. So, yeah. But I'm going to get into the comments. Shrek said, hello. Shane just goes, do you think Henderson is a big loss as well? I'll get back to that. I've seen people always say he's a defensive striker. Like, I know most people are joking, but fuck me, what does that mean? Look, listen, like, people say, well, he's a centre forward, so he creates for the wingers and stuff like that. And I try to say that as well to some people, and it's like, he's a centre forward. Do you know, he was also a centre forward, Fernando Torres, and he was a goal scorer. So there's no excuse. Fernando Torres was one of the best strikers in the world before he started getting injured. And, he was banging in goals for fun and made Vidic look like an absolute moron. Unified Champions goals. Agree about Firmino. He slowed down far too much. He's even when he wasn't scoring, he was getting assists and working hard. Now he just does nothing. Yeah, no, you're right. He absolutely does nothing. He's just trying to put on a brave face. Like, there probably is something wrong with him. Don't get me wrong, but he's just trying to put on a brave face and stuff like that. But he's not Firmino of other seasons. Shrek just goes, to be honest, how is Naby Keita still at the club? It's just the price tag. Really, I just think it because we have a player that we bought 52 million for and we have an option. It's just sort of like, oh, well, is anybody going to buy a player whose muscles are made of fucking chocolate? So that's that. Um, Cheapy Productions podcast said Chamberlain will always was always like that. Don't get me wrong, he really, really was. He was. It was just like because it was Klopp and he was playing him in midfield. And before he got injured against Roma, he was playing brilliantly, absolutely brilliantly. That's when it just went downhill for him. Was when that big injury happened, and he just got injured more and more. So, that's what happens when you get a big injury like that. You get fucking multiple injuries. Trent has been so poor too. Yeah, no, he has. He's been just really hot and cold. Yes, Trent has been dreadful. Hold on there. And Nathaniel Phillips will come good too. Now he has, honestly, I have no problems with Daniel Phillips. I'd actually have him play every week because he's putting in a work. Do you get me? And even if it's not a technically great defender, if you can say something like that, but he puts in a shift and fair play to him. Yeah, listen, he's playing for Stuttgart last season and he's playing for Liverpool now. So fair play to him. Shreks of goals. I think Elliot, that's on loan at Blackburn, would almost come back and be in the starting 11. I wouldn't go that far because he's still a young age. He's still 17, and he's playing absolutely brilliantly for Blackburn. So I wouldn't really want him to get that pressure as a 17-year-old and, starting in the, fucking Liverpool team. I reckon he will probably be at Liverpool next season, amongst the first team, but I don't think he'll get a start. That's too much pressure on him. He just goes, enjoying just listening, even though I support Chelsea. Do you know what, man? I'm going to get to Chelsea because Chelsea have been absolutely brilliant under Thomas Tuchel. They've been very organised. He's moved to, a three at the back, with faults, with wing backs. Like, he has that team really, really organised. So I'm really impressed by Chelsea, especially Mason Mount as well. He's put Mason Mount into a different level as a midfielder. He's really, really impressed me. GP Productions goes, do you think Liverpool should go for Roy Keane and Martin O'Neill to steady the ship, Jay? Do you know what? Yeah, get Roy Keane just to call them all fucking idiots because, that's just good old Roy Keane for you. But you can see as well, I'm going to go to the Chelsea bit because Chelsea's really interesting. When Thomas Tuchel came in, he brought in his own idea and he kind of brought in the three at the back with wing backs, like Chelsea when they won it last time, the Premier League. With Antonio Conte went, three at the back, wing backs, three in midfield. Like he had that team so organised, and I was really impressed by that Chelsea team. And as well, they had no Europe, so that was even more of an advantage for them. And they were absolutely brilliant to watch as a football fan. They really were. And it's the same with Chelsea now. Like you can see that like Tuchel is doing that same thing with the players that Frank Lampard, couldn't get the best out of. Now, don't get me wrong, you probably got the best out of Mason Mount because they have a great connection. But they've been brilliant under Thomas Tuchel, like really, really impressive. And I reckon they will get top four. It's a massive game for them against Everton. Win against Everton is a massive win for them, in terms of top four and getting up there again into the Champions League. And you never know. They could be, listen, if they go in and beat Atletico Madrid, they could be dark horses. I know that sounds absolutely crazy, but Thomas Tuchel has been to a European Cup final before as a manager. So he probably wants to get that one batter and go and win it. And he has the players to do it. He really, really does. Don't get me wrong. They haven't got a great defence, but attack that deadly. And people need to remember that. Because Timo Werner, yes, he can't shoot and he, can't finish in the Premier League and stuff like that. But you never know. You won't be laughing, and I won't be laughing when he scores to win on the Champions League final. It's a possibility. It is. It's really, really a possibility. I don't really want to. I'm gonna just go into a half an hour of this because I just want to talk about what Liverpool need to do now for the rest of the season and for basically next season, what to do with players going in and out and stuff like that. I'm actually gonna get my charge. I'll be back in a bit. Hold on. Give us a second. The StreamYard really takes the battery out, yeah. But let's flip upside down there. That's probably better. Oh, fuck hell. People are probably like, what the fuck is going on here? Right, but yeah, I'm gonna just go like this. Right, but yeah, like honestly, like it's just yeah, but it's just I'm gonna talk about what Liverpool should do now for the rest of the season and what to do now for next season and onwards because our season in the Premier League is over. We're not getting top four, in my opinion. I think top four for us is actually over. But Champions League is still a possibility. It is. It's more of a possibility for us to win the Champions League than it is to win the top four. It really, really is. And I just think it's just right the way for the Premier League. Yeah, just try and get a bit of wins and try and get us to be happy again and just see what we do in Europe because that's the main priority now for Liverpool fans and just for Liverpool Football Club is to go and win the European Cup and it's going to be a Mount Everest climb. It really, really is because of how good everybody is in Europe and how poor we've been, and it's going to be really, really tough. For next season, if you know what, if we do get, Champions League, get Mbappe, sign on the dotted line, just get him because we really, really need Mbappe at the moment. Like he literally can switch a game like that, like that. That's how good Mbappe is. He can come off on the bench and he can literally just change the game. By the scruff of the neck, like he's absolutely brilliant. The pace, the skill. He's just blistering the pace. And he's like that sort of character as well. He's got that kind of look where he's like, yeah, he's the next big thing, and it'd be great for Liverpool to get that. But 200 million price tag put on him, and the wages that he'll probably want to demand, God knows now. Liverpool pages that I've been looking at have been saying that the preferred destination if you was to go to the Premier League is Liverpool, which is a great bonus. But how true is that? God knows, because any team can just go, yeah, listen, we'll offer you more money and turn the player's head. As well, Haaland, we don't get Mbappe. Haaland would be a brilliant, signing for us. He's a goal scorer. He's someone that, would be so ideal to the team. But the thing is the agent that he has, Radiola, who's the, agent for the likes of Paul Pogba and stuff. He's a very dodgy agent, and is Liverpool going to be wanting to deal with someone like that? Who's going to cause issues? I don't think they will be. But listen, if it's to just have a great relationship with him, just to get the client in Haaland, then listen, we have to do something, man, because we can't just keep the same team going and having the front three, for next season. Because if we have the front three again, then I don't think we're going to win the league. Because I know that Man City are going to be strengthening, like they're going to let go of Aguero, but they're going to get someone to replace him, and it could be Haaland. So imagine if they have to get Haaland, then you could just hand him the league every year now. Because he can, literally make that team 10 times better than it already was. Like, Man City are definitely going to strengthen next season. There's a lot of teams that are going to strengthen. Man United are going to try and get some signings in because Ollie might, stay and sign a new contract. Chelsea are definitely going to, make signings. Spurs, they're actually getting consistent as well again. Bale's playing, back to his best is what people would say. They're getting consistently back. Harry Kane might stay after all. God knows. I'd love to even have Harry Kane, but to try and take him away from sports will be very, very tough. So, listen, they're just names I've just put out there, to sign, but to sell, there is a good few players I would sell. Like there is probably Naby Keita, Chamberlain. I know I'm probably gonna get absolutely slaughtered by it, but they're players I would let go because they're just so injury prone. And look, I love Naby Keita as a midfielder. A lot of people have known that. Like, as a midfielder, he's actually the most gifted out of everyone in the club. He's just muscles made of fucking chocolate. I said that for the third time, but it's true. Same with Chamberlain. Chamberlain is just, consistently injured all the time. He's supposed to be out for 6 weeks, but then it turns into 4 months, and we can't have something like that again at the club. We don't want another Daniel Sturridge. He was the exact same problem. Don't get me wrong, love him, but we needed to move him on. Yeah, I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say Firmino. I think Firmino needs to go. I think Origi needs to go as well because he's somebody that has literally not performed. And don't get me wrong, I absolutely love Origi, but I don't want Liverpool fans to go and slaughter him out of the club. Absolutely not. Saying that he's stealing a living and stuff like that. yeah, the guy is stealing the living because the chap won us the Champions League final. You have to think about it. Liverpool were shit in that game. He came on and he basically kills the game off. If it wasn't for him, it could have been still 1-0. Spurs could have got a goal, God knows, because Spurs were still in the game at 1-0. And then it was when he scored, it was all over then for Spurs. They knew they lost and we won it, you know. And of course, Barcelona and stuff like that. So he does not deserve the disrespect from Liverpool fans, but I do think he should go. Um, See, there's going to be the likes of Milner who's going to run out his contract. Nobody will probably want to sign him for fucking 5 million and have 130 grand, contract on a 35-year-old going 36. So he might probably leave at the end of his contract. I would like to see Minamino come back into the team, when he's finished at Southampton, same with Harvey Elliott. I want to see a lot of the youngsters coming in and making a mark into the team, because of course John's done it, and I reckon other people are going to be doing it. And the Kabak deal, I'm not sure about, because there is the option to get him, but we also have an option that if we don't really want him, we could just say no, which is really good for Michael Edwards, absolute king. And yeah, I really think that's it. I just think, yeah, I think it should be equal. I think it should be about 3 or 4 people leaving, and then I think about 3 people coming in. Get a striker, most definitely. Probably get another midfielder. Oh, forgot as well. Wijnaldum's another player as well that is linked to leave, and is he going to sign a new contract? Me personally as well, Wijnaldum hasn't really been like great for us, like he still gives it his all, but it hasn't really been much. And I think we really need an upgrade in one album, and I just think that yeah, he will move on to someone like Barcelona or Inter Milan, God knows. So we'll definitely have to upgrade from him. So we're just heading 30 minutes into the stream. I'm just gonna go to more questions. It says enjoying just listening. Oh yeah, I think he said that, didn't he? Yeah. Sorry about that. Hold on. Yeah, it just goes. I hated when Lampard left, but it was for the best. Yeah, no, it absolutely was. Like Frank Lampard was not good enough for Chelsea, in my opinion. I think any manager would pick Mason on any team, no matter who he's on. Southgate's got to play him in the Euros, man. He really, really is. I do think Bayern is still a clear champions of the Champions League, but you still never know what could happen. That's true. It's not. You don't realize. Yeah, Bayern Munich might be, still the best team in the world, but they still got some defensive problems. Like they can still concede goals, and like although the attack is brilliant, that defense can be a bit dodgy sometimes, and we've seen that as well. They were 2-0 down against Dortmund in the weekend. Haaland, scored 2 goals, but then they needed Lewandowski to turn up and win the game for them, and he got a hat trick because that's how good Lewandowski is. Like he's absolutely world class, in his position. Connor's just like, how's things, Joe? I'm good, man. Just doing this to talk about Liverpool and talk about how frustrating it is to support them. How many skills are on your arse? Yeah, that's disgusting. Shrek calls. I hope Chelsea get that signing on Haaland. I fucking love him, unbelievable. Do you know what? You could be right, but they might probably do a swap deal if they don't really want Timo Werner. They could probably do a swap deal. You can have Werner Dortmund and we can take Haaland. I reckon they'll probably take that deal. They probably might be cash in there as well, say about 40 million or something, and then Werner for Haaland. That'd be a really, really good deal for Dortmund, because like Werner's really good in the Bundesliga, and he could really turn up for Dortmund when it needs to be. He just goes, no work today, no work, Connor. Origi has to go. No, he definitely has to. And who would you replace Firmino though? I would replace him for Mbappe, in my opinion, but it's all about Liverpool going out and getting that sort of signing. Right. I just want to say thank you to everyone who's been, watching the live stream. I didn't want to make this like an hour thing. I just wanted to make it a half an hour talking about, my feelings on the club and what it should be like going forward. Look, listen, I think the Champions League is our only hope for Europe. we are not getting top four in the Premier League, and I'm praying to the gods that we can go and win the Champions League for the seventh time in Istanbul, and that we can go out and get in the pay, and then all my dreams are fucking sealed. So I just want to say thank you to everyone who's watched the stream, who's liked and commented, and yeah, I'll talk to you in the next video. Peace.